Hey everyone, welcome back to the channel. Hope you guys are keeping well. This is episode 34 in the Trading 212 portfolio update. Don't forget to like, comment and subscribe. If you're new to the channel, I'll tell you how you can get 3 free stocks later in the video. But today I want to go through a few stocks I'm looking at, especially Cloudflare. I want to share my thoughts and where I think this is headed. Also, I want to basically just go through the portfolio update and mention a few stocks that I've increased my positions. If you haven't already watched last week's video, you can do so. That is linked in the video and it's in the description below. Apart from that, let's get started. So let's dive into the portfolio. We are currently at £6,827.30p. I've invested £6,760.13p. We are up exactly 1%. Well, it's 0.99 now. So it is still fluctuating through the currency markets. I am up £67.01p. If we look on the week, we have had a good week. It has gone up. Last week we did finish off at negative 1.73%. That's down £113. But as you know, we are in a positive, exactly up 1%. We did have highs of around 2%, 2.23%, or even slightly higher. No, 2.23% was the highest during the week. However, we're still in the green, which is still good. So yeah, let's just get into the individual stocks. Today, I want to go through Cloudflare and just share my thoughts on what I think and where it's headed. So let's dive into Cloudflare. Where is it? Cloudflare. So Cloudflare are a web infrastructure and cybersecurity company. Their business model is pretty much software as a service. They have been doing pretty well since they IPO'd around September. They've effectively doubled their share price. I do think in the long run they will have continued growth, especially they are in like web infrastructure and cybersecurity. As companies move towards the cloud, they should be well positioned in that segment. So yeah, I'm hoping, or I'm thinking to be honest, that they might be hitting share prices of $100 or $200 in the next, I guess 1 to 2 years, maybe a little bit longer or even more. So I'm thinking that they will continue to see revenue growth and their share price should increase as they become more relevant. So I am thinking that they will be a really good stock in the long run. I've read a few articles from other publishers, and I think one of them did strike out to me as quite interesting, which was from the Motley Fool. They did say that Cloudflare does have early signs of like Amazon traits. It's quite an interesting read. I'll put a link in the description. So yeah, that's what I think about this stock. Obviously, do your own homework and make your own judgments on this company, but I think it's a good stock. Moving on to my investment in it itself, I've got 15 shares with an average price of $17.84. I'm up 105%, which is £223.95. So it is a good return at the moment. I've effectively doubled my money. But I won't be selling on this. I am extremely bullish on it, and I do think it is a fantastic stock. So moving on to the next stock, which is a new addition to the portfolio, which is, let's go and have a look. It is Energy Transfer, which is a US-based stock. So Energy Transfer LP owns and operates a portfolio of energy assets. The company operations include complementary natural gas, midstream, intrastate and interstate transportation and storage assets, crude oil, natural gas liquids, and refined products. So essentially they are an energy company. Since the oil companies and energy sector have been impacted quite significantly with the coronavirus crisis, I think it is probably a good time to buy, although it's worth noting that this company does have an extremely high payout ratio. Well, last time I did look, it was around 168%, which isn't covered well. According to Simply Wall Street, the stock is actually undervalued. It's currently trading at $7.99 at the end of Friday, and the fair value is around $9.98. So it is undervalued by 19.2%, which is, I'd probably say, which is good. Forecasted annual growth is expected to be around 20%, which is really good, according to Simply Wall Street again. Potentially, this could actually turn into a long-term stock for me, but at the moment, I don't plan to hold it for very long. And as I mentioned earlier, the current payout ratio is around 168%, which isn't covered well by earnings. However, dividends in 3 years are forecasted to be covered by earnings by 86.7%, which is quite a big improvement. So potentially there is some positivity for this stock. So I'm pretty hopeful and optimistic in this stock. So let me know what you guys think. If you're interested in learning a little bit more about this stock, there was actually a really good video that is done by another YouTuber that's called Stock Investment Analysis, and he goes into a little bit more detail in this stock, and I'll definitely recommend checking it out if you're interested in it. Links will be in the description. Let's just quickly run through what I have at the moment. I've got 12 shares with an average price of $8.23. I'm down 1.35%, but I am still optimistic in it. NewRiver Reit, I did increase my position in NewRiver Reit. I did increase it by 50 shares. I've got 450 shares with an average price of £1.14. I am down 42.16%. That's £217. So again, I'm potentially looking to get to 500 shares in this eventually. Just waiting for the price to drop. So I might look at increasing it on Monday, buy another 50 and get to 500, and then I'm going to leave it at that. The other stock that I want to talk about is Wirecard. So Wirecard is actually an interesting stock that that recently came to my attention, which is here. So as you may have already heard, that they actually saw they had some accounting issues, and I'm not sure how this is possible since they are kind of a financial company, that somehow 1.9 billion euros has gone missing, which is insane. I could probably understand 1.9 million, but 1.9 billion euros, which is insane for a company to lose that kind of money. So their share price has actually tanked a lot. It has gone from 101 euros, roughly 101 euros to 25 euros and 79 cents. So I've seen an opportunity here that I want to take a little risk in my portfolio, and obviously Wirecard is definitely one of those riskier stocks for me. I know they do have or did have contracts with like Curve, Monzo, I'm not sure, but with those new banks they've had some contracts with them. I think that essentially this potentially may see some sort of return in the long run, but for now I do think they'll probably hover around 25 euros for at least a few months, and then probably hit like 30, 40, 50 euros, and that's when I'll probably start to looking to sell some of these shares. In this, I only have 4 at the moment, which is I'm currently down 2.7%. My average price is 26 euros and 34 cents. So again, I think this might be a potential opportunity, but obviously I do know that this stock does have a high risk at the moment. It's very volatile. So looking at the day, it has been pretty volatile, to be honest. It did hit a low of 19 euros and up to 29 euros. So for me, I know I do think in my portfolio that I need to take a little bit more risk, and Wirecard definitely ticks all the boxes for me. It does have potentially going back to 100 euros. But yeah, that's just more like a wait and see. So yeah, let me know what you guys think. Have you invested in this prior to them losing 1.9 billion euros? And what do you plan to do? Do you plan to increase your investments? Are you just going to cash out and cut your losses? Or if you haven't invested in them, previous to this announcement. Are you planning to invest in it? I'd love to hear your thoughts on it. What do you think is going to happen? I know their CEO did resign, I think today or the other day. So I would love to hear your thoughts on Wirecard and what you think is going to happen. Do you think they're going to be fined? Do you think the share price is going to drop further? Or do you think they're going to return to somewhat of a normal state? I'll be interested to know. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and comment down below. And moving on to a few other stocks in the portfolio that I want to talk about. So with BP, where is it? BP. So I've got 40 shares in BP. I haven't changed my position at all this week, but I am expecting a dividend to be paid, I think, on Monday, that I should get a dividend from them. I've got 40 shares. I'm down 18.88%. That's £29.80p. My average price is at £3.94p. Potentially, I may look to increase my position in this just to average down, but I'm not sure right now. So I am expecting a dividend from them next week. Moving on to Shell, which I'm also expecting a dividend to come through next week. So I've got 10.5 shares with an average price of £13.79p. I'm down £6.60. That's about 4.56%. Again, I am expecting a dividend. I don't think it's for the entire 10.5 shares I hold. I think it's probably around 6. And I also want to talk about HSBC. So with HSBC, they've had an okay week. They are up 2.96%, which is around 11p. I'm not too sure how this stock is going to perform, to be honest. I'm not really sure from an ethical standpoint that I agree with some of their announcements that they've made, especially with Hong Kong. So I've got 35 shares. I'm down £40.26p. That's £22.79p. with an average price of £5.04. I do want to increase my position, but then my ethical standpoint is like, do I want to invest in it? But for now, to be honest, I think I'm going to hold and look for an opportunity to close this position. But yeah, so I'm interested to know what your thoughts about it, because they did support the Beijing laws that are going through. I'm just curious to know what you guys think impact the HSBC supporting the Beijing laws into Hong Kong. What kind of effect do you think that's going to have on the HSBC share price? I'd love to hear your thoughts on that. What do you think the implications are going to be for that company? Leave a comment down below. Moving on to Alibaba, the last stock that I want to talk about today. Another great stock. It is done pretty well this week. It is up 1.37%. I lied, it's doing about okay. It's up $2.98. So with Alibaba, I believe they are expecting a stock split. So one share will turn into 8 shares. But I haven't heard anything about that. I've only seen articles from a year ago. So I'd love to hear your thoughts, or if you know anything about this. Have you seen any articles recently that have mentioned that they are planning to do a stock split? Let me know in the comments down below. I would love to hear what you guys think about it. Do you think it's going through, or do you think they're not going to bother? But yeah, that's it for this video. And I did mention in the start of the video that I'll tell you how to get 3 free shares. The first one is if you sign up to Trading 212 using my referral link, you'll get a free share worth up to £100. And then when you've done that, you can sign up to Free Trade, which on screen now, you'll get a free share worth up to £200. And finally, you can sign up to Stake, which you'll get a free share in either Nike, GoPro or Dropbox when you deposit £50 into your account. So that one does have a slightly higher threshold in deposit and money into your account, but the other two, I believe, is £1. So yeah, that's it for this video. Let me know what you guys think. I'd be interested to hear your thoughts on those stocks that I've mentioned in the video. And that's it for this video. See you in the next one.